ITV News has been given the clearest signal yet of a monumental change in the law around how we die. We filmed with Sir Keir Starmer as he told Dame Esther Rantzen he was committed to legalising assisted dying and would make parliamentary time for it if he became Prime Minister. It would, he admitted, be a free vote, acknowledging the strong feelings on both sides of the debate. But it does mark a major step for Dame Esther, who's been calling for a change in the law ever since she was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer. Now, the sad reality of her illness is she may not be alive to see assisted dying legalised or even the passionate debate that's likely to surround it. Our UK editor Paul Brand was there as Dame Esther spoke with Sir Keir.
I look back on my life and I think how extraordinarily lucky I've been. That life was tremendous fun. It was 21 years of working with really talented people.
You are kind. Thank you very much indeed. Good evening.
So one thing has led on to another. You don't really see achievements, you see challenges.
I would work hard and I would listen.
And you see the things you still haven't managed to get done.
After a career on camera, Esther Rantzen doesn't want to be seen anymore.
I'm not at my best.
But she spoke to me because she still wishes to be heard. After all the campaigns she's led in her life, this one is about her death. With advanced lung cancer, she wants the option of an assisted suicide.
When someone you love has a very painful death, that memory obliterates the good times. When you think about them, you remember their suffering. And I don't want my family to have that. That would be all wrong.
There is a prospective Prime Minister who agrees with Dame Esther. We were invited to film their phone call.
Hello?
Hello, is that Esther?
Certainly is.
Oh, Esther, it's Keir, and I'm sitting here with Paul Brand, and I think and hope you're expecting our call. First and foremost, Esther, how are you?
Well, the thing is, Keir, I don't know if you know people who've been through this, but you never know how you are until your next scan.
Which is why Dame Esther wants no uncertainty from the Labour leader about whether he'd allow Parliament to legalise assisted dying.
Are you going to put it in your manifesto that you will definitely make time for a debate and a free vote?
I'm personally in favour of changing the law. I think we need time. We will make that commitment, Esther. I can give you that commitment right now. The only question I'm going over in my mind on the manifesto is this. I don't want to make this a party political issue. It needs to be cross-party, and I will make time available if I am Prime Minister.
Can I just press you just quickly while we've still got Esther
Yeah,
on the
of
line?
course.
When you say you'll commit to a vote, are you talking about the next Parliament?
Oh, yes, definitely. And I think Esther would agree with this. For people who are going through this or are likely to go through it in the next few months or next year, this matters hugely, and delay just prolongs the agony.
I'm so glad that you are so committed. I am definitely running out of time. So people in my situation need that clarity, that reform of the law. At the moment, it's a cruel mess.
Esther, I completely agree with you on that. You have my commitment, and I just hope that the treatment you're getting succeeds and that you will be able to see me put that commitment into action.
Thank you so much, Keir.
Thank you, Esther. All the best. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
It's difficult when you're speaking to someone like Esther Rantzen, who's very independent-minded, to argue with her wish for a choice. But how do you design a law that allows Esther to live out her wishes but doesn't drag people into an assisted suicide who don't actually want to die, who are being coerced?
I think that's the crucial question. Firstly, I think the debate has to be conducted with respect. I personally think the law should be changed. There will be people equally passionate with powerful points to make about why it shouldn't be. In the end, I do think most people coalesce around the idea that if there are safeguards, really safeguards with teeth to protect the vulnerable, can that not be done in a law? And I think it can.
But while this isn't the first commitment Dame Esther has been given in her campaigning career, it may prove to be the most complex and contentious.
Well, Paul's here. I mean, it is contentious. It really does divide people. But how likely do you think it is that the law will change?
I think it's more likely than it ever has been before, Mary, because if we assume that Keir Starmer has a fairly decent chance of becoming the next Prime Minister, then although he won't force his MPs to vote for assisted dying, he'd give them what's known as a free vote, as he's explained. They'd be able to vote whichever way they wished. It sends a very clear signal if you've got the Prime Minister of the time in favour of a change in the law. And that wasn't the case, for example, in 2015, when MPs last voted on this issue. They defeated a change in the law 2-1 under David Cameron, who was opposed to assisted dying. So it feels as though political opinion is moving a bit more in line with public opinion. And we reported on Monday that 75% of people, according to the largest ever poll of public opinion, do want a change in the law. That's not to downplay, though, the significant, serious and very sincerely held opposition to a change in the law. Campaigners on the other side of this argument have said today they're quite alarmed by what Keir Starmer has said. They're worried about lots of things. Vulnerable people being coerced. They're worried about devaluing the lives of people with disabilities. They're worried often from a religious perspective too. We're talking about a very broad coalition of people, some senior doctors, the Archbishop of Canterbury, right through to the Paralympian, Tanni Gray-Thompson. So, a real broad coalition. So if the law does change, it's not going to be easy to work out how to change it.
OK, Paul Brand, thank you. And it is, as we say, a subject that affects so many people. So for details of support around terminal illness, do visit our website at itv.com/news.